A very good morning, dear students. Today, start a new topic. This topic name the cell. We will now in this topic cell introduction, cell history, size and shape of cells, kinds of cells, and types of cells. We know that cell is the structural and functional unit of life and living organism. Its mean cell. Cell is a Latin word and its mean compartment, and compartment means hollow space. Hollow space is called a cells. So cell is very small size and cannot be seen naked eyes. Cell can only be observed with the help of a microscopy. But some cells can be seen with naked eyes, such as ostrich egg. Let's see the figure chart. Cell produced tissues, tissue produce organs, organ produce organ systems, and organ system is completely whole body. Formation of body. So, cell is the structural unit of life. This slide evolution of cell life, and single cell is formation to periods by periods and time to time formed by a human. So this graph, this chart show unicellular formation to multicellular organ. History of cells. The discovery of cells is generally credited to Robert Hooke in 1665. This theory, published in his book Micrographia, Robert Hooke saw a structure like a honeycomb. Honeycomb, like a structure made for his microscopy, it is called a compound simple microscopy. And then next scientist Antony von Leeuwenhoek 1632 to 1723 designed and improved microscope and first time show off free cells like a bacteria, RVS, human, sperm, et al. This cells first show of study by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Antony von Leeuwenhoek was the first to study a drop of pond water and describe the various forms of bacteria. Leeuwenhoek was the first biologist to study living cells. Celedin and Swan. Celedin is a German botanist and Swan German zoologist. 1839 introduced to first cell theory, his published book The Cell. This is commitment in 3 points of cell theory. Number 1, all organisms are composed of one or more cells, and second, cell is the structural unit of life, and third, all living organisms consist of cells. And next scientist Rudolf Virchow 1855 is a German biologist. It is called ominous cellula e cellula. Its mean cell can arise only by cell division from a pre-existing cells. This theory is speaking about all living organisms are composed from cell, but little viruses are challenges this theory show far and have dislike characteristics. Cell shape and size of cells. Generally, cell size 0.2 mu to 5.0 mu. Cell shape of cell are different in multicellular organ and unicellular organs, such as amoeba and animals and plants. A basic cell shape of cell is globular, spiral, and variable, comma, and depend on the according to functions. So, cell have different form such as elongated nerve cells, spiral, egg of many animals, spindle, muscles fiber cells. Very smallest cells named PPLO 0.1 to 0.3 centimeter. Very largest cells ostrich egg and human largest cells nerve cells. Suppose 19 to 1 centimeters. PPLO full name Pleuropneumonia like organism. This organism, this microorganism urinary tract infection caused. Two types living organisms on earth, unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Made up single cell, a unicellular organism. Second one, single cells, then reproductions, and then new daughter cells. Life cycles in very small. When the comparison of multicellular organism made up one to more cells, germ cells and reproductive cells and formation of body. And life cycle is very long. This example of amoeba eugenia cladomonas is a single cell organism. And this example of multicellular organism, human, animals and multicellular organisms. Life on earth complex form of life, multicellular organism and unicellular organism. The unicellular organism composed of the single cells and all the biological process such as respiration, nutrition, reproduction, etc. take place in single cell but the multicellular life composed of specialized multi-celled structure. Okay, so two basic classes of cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are defined of eukaryotic cells. Eu means होता है true and karyotic means होता है nucleus. So eukaryotic is cells in present a true nucleus. Some commitment of eukaryotic cells. Number 1, it has large size. Number 2, cytoskeletal systems are present. Endoplasmic reticulums and plasmid and mitochondria are present. 17S and 18S ribosomes are present. Lysosomes present. DNA and RNA are generally molecule is present. And prokaryotic is defined of prokaryotic cells. Pro means primitive and before karyotic means nucleus. So before a nucleus is present a small area, some like this nucleus is called a nuclei. What is not a complete nucleus is present in prokaryotic cells show a absent of nucleus. It has a small size and skeletal system of absent and dual membrane cell organs are absent. Only 70 N ribosomes present, lysosome absent, and DNA and RNA, only one genetical molecule is present. This example of prokaryotic cells, bacteria, is present of flagella. Flagella is the main work of movement of bacteria, and cilia and yeah plus mean role of conjugation of one to another cells, and plasmid present a plasmid and mesosomes, and capsules cover up cells capsules and present DNA is molecules, and ribosomes, a presence of 17s ribosomes, and cytoplasmic cell wall rigid, strong, and thick. In this example of plant eukaryotic cells, it is plant cells, cell components, mitochondria, lysosome, Golgi body, plastids, and all cell organ in plant cells. This cell organs explains to next video. What is the comparison of animal cell and plant cells? Animal cells have no cell wall. Plastids are absent. Animal cell contain that centriole that help in cell division. Vacuole is absent or loss of development. When plant cells have a biomemory and plasma memory. Second, plastids are present, and centriole are absent in plant cells. Vacuole is ball, bell dependent. This is a animal cells, and this is a plant cells structure. Plant cell is the very complex, and animal cell is more complex structure of cells. And thank you.